Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Dure Shehwar, General Secretary Auspak Women Association. और हमारा प्रोग्राम विमेन एंड पावर के तवसत से हम आपको बहुत सारी ऐसी खवातीन से मुलाकात करवाते हैं, या वी आर इन कॉन्वर्सेशन विद लॉट ऑफ विमेन जो कि बहुत इंस्पिरेशनल हैं, जिन्होंने अपनी फील्ड में बहुत खूबसूरत सफर तय किया है और हमारे लिए वो एक गाइडिंग लाइट प्रूव हुई हैं। हम पाकिस्तानी खवातीन उनके कैरियर से, उनकी लाइफ से बहुत सारे लेसन सीखते हैं और हम उनसे बहुत इंस्पिरेशन लेते हैं। When I was thinking of who I want to talk to about their inspirational journey and story and where she is, the first name that popped in my head was none other than Dr. AILA KHAN. Dr. AILA KHAN is not only the chairperson of Shaukat Khanum Foundation in Australia, but she is a PhD scholar from Western Sydney University. She has a lot of feathers in her hat. Us living in Australian Pakistani community here know her like really well. We get inspired by her personality and we are in awe of her personality every day. But I thought this is an opportunity for all of us to know a little more about her journey and what her aspirations are. So welcome and Assalamu alaikum, Dr. AILA. How are you?
Thank you so much for the kind introduction, Dure Shehwar. Lovely to see you. Lovely to be here.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure and it's an honor for us that you had joined us today. Dr. AILA, जैसे मैं आप जिक्र कर रही थी कि आपकी पर्सनालिटी के आपके इतने सारे एस्पेक्ट्स और एलिमेंट हैं, how do you like to get introduced when you are somewhere? What are those things that you want people to know about you when it comes to your introduction?
I guess, Dure Shehwar, first of all, I'm an Australian Pakistani who comes from Islamabad, and I'm very proud to be affiliated with Shaukat Khanum, and also my career at Western Sydney University. That's also something that I'm fully involved with. Yeah.
Beautiful. Like, how do you manage and balance this, working as for community in form of Shaukat Khanum, and then your academics and your commitment as someone who's so closely knitted into academic field? How do you find this combination and how do you work through that?
So I couldn't contribute very much in my 20s, and I should say even in my 30s, because I was then a full-time mom. But I think the good thing about having children early is that you then get some time earlier in your life to try and sort of return to the community somewhat. So I guess now I'm at a stage where my children are independent. Both my daughters are working. So with the result, one does have then time. Either one can just socialize. But I guess this is something which really excites you, and when one is passionate about it, you enjoy it as well.
That's really beautiful, because I think हम बहुत सारे लोग जो हैं generally, not just खवातीन, generally, especially coming from Pakistan or part of the world, हमें अपना बहुत अरसे तक passion भी पता नहीं होता. So I guess being able to identify your passion in your life and then be able to do that is truly a blessing. So yeah. But when it comes to your achievements, what are some of the achievements that you personally, there is a long list that we know that you work on, you do a lot of stuff, and you inspire a lot of us with your work. But what are some of the achievements in your life that you are like, yes, this is something I'm really proud of?
I was thinking about it, Dure Shehwar, when you first asked me, and I was thinking really the biggest achievement, and I'm sure there would be other women who would agree with this as well, is the fact that many of us came from Pakistan, and then some of us came here as single mothers. And the fact that we landed here maybe with, I had 2 children then, school going. One wasn't even school going at that stage. And you arrive with a couple of suitcases in Australia, and then to build a whole new life in this country and to be able to struggle and become resilient and not give up and to pursue a career and other passions. I think at the end of the day, when I look back, it's been 20 years now. I think that's probably one of the biggest achievements because not many locals here and not many people in Pakistan would think about moving, especially those people who are comfortably settled. It's not something that it's not on everybody's agenda. So I think for those of us who've done that, that is definitely our biggest achievement. The fact that we gave up our lives there and came and settled here and pursued our passions, like I was saying, that is something absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely. Settled how? Like, you absolutely nailed it. You have raised the bar for a lot of us here who have come here, and we're really, really proud of you. There's no denying in that. But I'm sure now you are, mashallah, smiling about it and talking about it. But this whole journey must have not been very easy for you.
Not at all.
Yeah. So what are some of the hurdles, some of the roadblocks that you have faced in your life that kind of made you slow or think twice about why are you doing it, or made you skeptical about your journey? What are some of the things that you would never forget?
I think sometimes we ourselves are not very confident and we don't realize how many strengths we've got and what kind of stamina we've got inside us. It's very easy to get discouraged, especially sometimes, people can make certain remarks or comments and you tend to then, wonder, oh, am I really on the right path? And I would say, yeah, probably ignoring some of the negative comments or the negativity and still carrying on. That is probably the biggest win ever. So I guess, yeah, probably one is not as confident as I would say I am now. The fact that this is a new country, it is a new environment. English is not our first language. Even the school systems here are different. The educational system is different. Trying to sort of, settle in that. Academic careers here are very different. So trying to understand how to sort of make your way through this entire maze and to build networks. I think we've given up our networks, or in some ways we've removed ourselves from some of the networks that we had back home, and to try and make new friends and, making friends amongst workplaces as well and making new networks. That is a challenge, definitely. And I think in some ways it still is. On a regular basis, you do face challenges. Whoever is working, they face challenges. Whoever is raising a family at home, I'm sure we all face those challenges all the time. And we learn every day, don't we?
Oh, yes, we absolutely do. Every word you are saying, like, I'm like, oh, yes, that's so true. And, but it's I as a woman, working woman, having a family to raise and, leaving the networks behind, a settled career to move into a new country. All of us have that something that keeps us going, even though when we have such difficult and tough times ahead of us, or, we are living in tough times. What is your source of energy and motivation through all this time, like that kept you going?
So earlier on, definitely it was that I was the only single parent household, and I had to make sure that I have an established sort of job or a career. So that is definitely very, very motivating. You dare not slip, you dare not give up. It's as simple as that. Wow. Later on, I think definitely once the hard time was over, definitely you start enjoying your career as well. You start enjoying your job as well. I think you become more confident as well. And then you discover, yes, there is a passion there as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I would say now it's definitely something that I could not think about living, without. So
Without.
even if income or money is not your topmost reason, and
Mm,
I think in many cases it is not,
mm.
it's just that you enjoy the work that you do. And I think that is the most fortunate thing. If you can do something which you really enjoy and you're passionate about,
Absolutely.
I think that's the biggest blessing from Allah.
Oh, yes, no doubt about that. Um,
Mm.
you are inspiration and for a lot of us, but who is one person that has or more than one, I would say, that has inspired you in your journey?
Wow, so many people. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, I would say definitely my dad.
Oh,
I've met so many good academics and brilliant professors, and you hear about all the role models. But I think in a lot of ways, it has to be my dad first and foremost. He was a professor. He was a professor of pediatrics, not I would say medically not very fit these days.
mm,
He's been retired for quite a few years now. But when I look back and I see that he came from a small village in Punjab near Gujarat, and
mm.
the way he built a life for himself, I don't think I ever appreciated it while I was in Pakistan. But
Oh,
now that I've had to do maybe just a fraction of that, suddenly you become so much more impressed with what your parents have done.
yeah.
In my case, what my dad did. Yeah,
Yeah, it is so
definitely.
beautiful. I was reading it somewhere
Mm.
that daddy's girls or the girls, if are given confidence by their dads, are always you can differentiate those girls in the crowd if
So
they have
true.
confidence of their dads behind them. So,
So true.
yeah,
So
yeah.
true.
There is
Absolutely.
something about being a daddy girl or having back of your dads with you.
Always.
So amazing, amazing. You have done so many things. Are there still some dreams left, or things that you wish you could do, or what are there?
Absolutely, absolutely. When you're in a career, I think, Dureshava, that you're always, trying to move a step ahead. So
That's
obviously, I would love to get promoted. In Australia, you know how we have a system of sort of in academia, you always have to get promoted to the next level.
yeah, yeah.
That will be my dream. I would like to research in other fields. I would like to help Shaukat Khanam grow even more because right now we feel we are still very small in comparison. I think one never really gives up,
Mm.
and so absolutely. And look, even today I would get so many knockbacks. It's amazing. Every other day, you apply for a grant and it gets knocked back. And you write a journal article and it's
Yeah,
not accepted.
yeah.
You think that you are going to win on this front and you don't. But I think as you get older, you realize that these are all small things. And eventually, if you keep on trying, you do get there.
Beautiful. Yeah, I think chalte ka naam zindagi, and human beings are the things that always dream. Once a dreamer is always a dreamer. They never stop.
So
So
true.
there's
Mm.
always something to achieve. I know you have not touched upon, and I find it very inspiring. Throughout your journey, you
Mm.
have not specifically talked about, having extra hurdles as a woman. I'm pretty sure as a woman, as single parent, and as mother, things
Mhm.
are always a little extra challenging.
Mm.
In no matter where you are in world, as a woman, you always have um how do you like this strength as a woman, where do you drive this from? Like, have you never thought about gender roles? Is that what it is? Or you as a person are a strong person? Like, as a woman, where do you, because we see you working shoulder by shoulder with all the men in male dominated fields and, society. And how do you manage that as a woman? Where is that strength coming from?
I think what you said earlier on, Dureshavar, it helps a lot if you've got a very supportive dad and a mother who can also demonstrate these behaviors. So if you've seen it, and if you've seen your mother do it, and if your dad has been supportive, to be honest, it is there. I think in Pakistan, while I was still living there, I think I was way younger. Maybe not striving to build a career then. I had small children then. But somewhere in your life, I think the behaviors that you've previously seen, definitely you try and live up to those standards. So I would definitely give the credit to my parents for that.
Of course, I'm sure the foundation has to be strong to have such an amazing, strong building, no doubt about it. I would love to know, what do you think about Auspak Women Association or Auspak platform? How do you find this platform that we have built here for women?
You guys have the most amazing energy. I want to ask you, how do you guys get that energy, and how do you always seem to sync together? And, how do you always manage to align and put up such wonderful events and performances? I've seen do one event after the other, and I think it's wonderful that women from Pakistan settled in Australia and make this platform. I never really thought it would be possible. I thought everybody would be really busy, but just shows that how much you guys are actually giving to the community. It's been absolutely amazing to see this. And I really wonder if there are many other such platforms for women, let's say from other countries like maybe Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or Nepal. I'm not too sure about it, but I think this is absolutely wonderful. You guys are inspirational, actually, Dureshavar.
Oh, thank you so much. Means a lot coming from someone like you. But I think, there is something about everyone getting together and, just having one vision and then working towards it. I think it's that strength that we derive as women from each other. If we women are together, we can do wonders. But okay, my last question or last request to you, because I've said this so many times in this interview, but we really see you up here, and all of us are in awe of your personality and how amazing you are. What message would you like to give all the women, sisters listening to this conversation from the platform of Auspak? What would you like, a message you would like to give them for their life?
I would say that we are so, so, so fortunate that we are here in this country, which gives us that opportunity to really grow. So while we have our culture and our values, and while we do have links with Pakistan, at the same time, we are the fortunate ones, and we have the opportunity to maybe work in areas that we wish to, or grow as a person, or permit our children to grow and develop into human beings as they would like to. And while we are so, so, so fortunate, I would just like to request that maybe if we can also think of people back home who may be struggling through, who could be struggling through, different kinds of challenges. And if we could maybe remember doing a bit of charity and sending money back home, that would be wonderful.
No, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for such a beautiful reminder. I think while we are building our careers and lives and thinking of making life better for our kids, we should not forget those who probably need us. And, we can, with our small little donations, a small little charity, we can make a huge difference into their lives. Thank you so, so very much, Dr. AILA, for your time today. It had been always a pleasure talking to you, interacting with you. Today, I hope that our audiences have learned a little bit more about you And obviously, whenever you talk, those pearls of wisdom always give a lot of us a lot of strength and direction and guidance. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Lovely talking to you.